And you said this will automatically record.
This will automatically.
Okay, perfect.
So, one thing I'm just suggesting.
बोल ना. Suggest नहीं तू सांग.
Nani, if Riya is going to join, she can join now, and we can project her thing there. So if there is gallery view, you can see all the people who have joined.
Agree. Like these people can see the puja too. Oh, definitely.
So should we make mummy sit on this? नहीं मैं इधर फेस कर लूंगी ना, इधर टर्न कर लूंगी. अगर टीवी देखने का है तो अगर यहाँ से टीवी पे रिफ्लेक्ट कर प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे तो
That time she can sit here.
Yeah.
तो दो देख सकते हैं.
मैं भी बैठ जाती हूँ, आई जाएंगे थोड़ी देर में. उसको बंद कराई टीवी को, मैंने कहा 10 मिनट है, चलती हूँ.
हेलो छोटी, हेलो बच्ची भैया,
हेलो हेलो
हेलो पापी जी, हाउ आर यू?
हम लोग तो जल्दी आ गए. चश्मा तो लगा लूं.
I know, I see.
कौन आ गए? कौन है?
माठू जी हैं.
I see Vivo ji.
Vivo ji हैं.
How are you?
Your mom wants to start copying, right?
That's why we asked for country.
आप देख रहे हैं विवो जी.
ये मास्क कौन लगाया है?
मास्क को कोई लगाया?
हमारा तो शिकल आ रही है. जोर
I
से.
see David.
A girl who
विवो
is
जी के पास में कौन है?
बहुत दूर है.
girl who is helping us. Hira's friend.
Only adults are.
Oh, Ira's friend. Oh, I see.
You.
Nice to meet you, Ira's friend.
Namaste.
क्या नाम है आपका?
Shivani, Matu Chacha, this is my friend's daughter Shivani.
शिवानी.
अच्छा,
Oh,
अच्छा.
He's going to do
nice.
Hello.
This is Choti Bua and David uncle.
अच्छा.
This is Chacha, Papa's younger brother. This is Papa's sister, older than him. Namaste, Mama.
नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते.
नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते.
कौन है देख तो ले. माठू तो सबसे पहले मिल गए.
There is Shekhar. हाँ पापी जी, yes.
Namaste, Chacha.
अच्छा.
Hi, David uncle.
Hi, hi,
Bachchi
hi,
mama,
Shekhar.
namaskar.
Hi, छोटी.
Sorry?
हाँ.
Should I sit here, Dhananjay?
Directly तो तुला त्रास होईल. मग तिकडे नुसतं दाखवायचं.
Check, you want to put these lights on here, right?
इंडिया से कोई भी नहीं है क्या? It must be 9:30 in India, right?
Yes, it
Yes.
is 9:30.
Not yet.
5 minutes still. 9:25.
Not yet.
जल्दी है थोड़ा अभी.
हाँ.
Mama is older than
9:25.
his Papa's age. Oh,
I wonder what time Buddy and all go to bed. 9:30 is, yeah.
नहीं नहीं.
Doesn't matter. I usually go to bed at 9:15. But I'm here.
9:15. Gosh. So for you, it's a late night
Yes.
for you, but you,
Yes.
अरे छान दिसतंय. मस्त दिसतंय.
कामात आलं कधी इतक्या दिवसापासून पडलेला होता.
I didn't know that.
I tried to read all the things Ira sent about the puja, the prayer.
Chacha, my friend Dhananjay, he will read the prayer and translate it.
Yeah, I couldn't understand. It's amazing. I mean, Hindi is my mother tongue, but some of the words were I couldn't even understand.
Because it's in Marathi, Chacha.
अच्छा अच्छा. ये
Oh,
मराठी
really?
में?
I thought it's Hindi.
The script is similar.
Yeah.
हमने तो खोला नहीं.
So he's going to translate. He's going to read. Those who can read Marathi will chant with him, and then he will translate it in Hindi.
I see. I see. Shekhar also knows Marathi, right? Shekhar knows Marathi well.
Naturally.
Yeah.
और कौन आए कौन है अभी पहुंचे नहीं सब
अभी जल्दी है
हाँ फिर भी
नहीं अभी 10 मिनट है मामी
हाँ still
Choti, did you try to read that prayer that Ira sent?
I looked at it, but I didn't try to read it because I knew I won't understand.
Yeah.
So should I translate in Hindi or English or both?
Hindi. Everybody understands Hindi.
Yeah.
विभो जी कहाँ चली गई हमको तो
No, you're good. You don't have to change it.
It's okay.
Who's there?
Choti Nani is
Hello,
there.
everyone.
But
Hello, hello, Ria.
Hello.
Namaste.
Patrina,
Oh, okay.
this is Sudha Nani.
Bachina.
We went to his house, remember, in Gurgaon.
Gurgaon, Delhi.
long back.
Yeah,
Is that Ria?
Yes, it's India, Patu Chacha.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had seen her so. She has grown up so much. I can't believe it.
Thank
Did
you.
you start casting it on this? Join in.
Oh, okay. So
Just join and start casting. That's all
Do
you
you want
need.
to like
Shivani is going to handle everybody.
पता नहीं कौन है
Well, राघवायचं.
Cool, huh? Samriti, I heard
Uh-huh.
them say
Somebody
Shekar.
said Shekhar. Who said
Huh.
Shekhar?
Choti and Nani. Choti.
Choti Bua said.
I can recognize.
Patu Chacha,
So
is people going to come?
Yeah. Deepak is coming, joining. He's very eager to. He has fond memories of his visit and Bhaiya's recording his.
Oh, Ballu Mama. Manjari
uh,
Mama.
You
Mama,
don't.
namaste.
How are you? Namaste.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ballu, yeah.
Hello, Ballu.
Or WhatsApp. What do you do?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Manjari is there.
Yes, I'm here.
कौन कौन है?
I am here. Ah, yeah.
Oh, hello,
Where's Jack?
hello, Manjari.
Oh, you got?
Okay.
Okay, I sent you an iMessage.
it takes like one.
Yeah,
You said to mask.
तो मैं एक दो स्टेप बता रहा हूँ तुमको.
हाँ, बोलो.
Achman means ऐसे करने का, and then from
So would
with
one
the
of us
curly
have to
you
be on board?
put water in that,
So it
and then
doesn't
you
echo?
drink it 3 times when I say Keshava Nama,
Which
Narayana
one?
Nama, Madhava Nama, etc. And then when the
SMB.
time comes, then you have to do like this.
I don't know.
के ऊपर पानी डाल के
Which
उसमें
one
छोड़
do we
देगा.
put on mute?
So you'll tell me when to do
You
it.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, वो शुरू
Shivani
शुरू
will
में
handle
इसलिए
that.
मैं बोला.
Shivani just asked
And
me.
then
Okay, we'll just put yours.
प्राणायाम means
Oh,
ऐसा.
mine on here.
Hello, Ji.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just breathe.
Yeah.
Whichever
Yes.
and then I will say all these.
I can see. Matuji and Manjari and Choti ji.
मेरे को तो Hi, Ballu.
No, hi.
Hi,
everybody.
Sunanda.
Hi, Sananda.
Good morning.
Hello, Mataji.
Hello, Manjari.
Manjari, where's Jax?
Hmm.
He's coming in the afternoon. Oh,
Good.
he's not here yet.
हेलो सुनंदा
हेलो नमस्ते भाभी
नमस्ते हमने कैसी हो
ठीक हैं आप बताइए
हम भी ठीक हैं बिल्कुल तुम्हारे सामने बैठे तुम्हारे तो कुछ बाल सफेद लग रहे हैं क्या
हाँ
Hello, Mohit.
Where's Mohit?
Hello,
I can
my
see
chacha.
Mohit.
Good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
hello, good morning, Mohit.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in ages, Mohit.
Yeah, I know. We should find a way to get past this coronavirus travel ban.
That's where are you? Are you in Mexico or in Canada?
I'm in Vancouver right now.
Vancouver. Oh, I see.
Hi, Mohit. I don't know if I know you.
Yeah, hello.
Wait,
We met him at Ritu's party.
Yes, yes, I remember that.
Long time back.
We also met at Ritu's party. This is you.
hello, Sunanda.
Hello, how are
Hello,
you?
Ballu.
Yes.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, everybody. This is Mayank.
Hi,
Oh,
Mayank.
hello,
How are
Mayank.
you? Nice to meet you, Mayank.
Oh, pleasure meeting you too. So,
Are you in DC or are you away from DC?
no, I'm in DC.
Oh, yeah, I'm in New York. You should, well, all this virus stuff is going on.
Yes.
But some point in time, we should meet.
Definitely.
I think this vaccines are good news. Maybe few months, maybe 3-4 months. I think it should be over.
Yeah, that's what we are all hoping for.
Yeah.
It will not be over before.
Hi, Mayank.
Oh, hello, Bua.
May तक तो रहेगा तुम्हारा कोरोना.
Hey, Mom, we just hope it should disappear soon.
होप से क्या होता है? Practical चीजें तो है practical. I don't hope.
अरे विदाउट होप तो बड़ी मुश्किल है.
हाँ.
नहीं, यहाँ पे भी वैक्सीन आने वाली है इंडिया में. इंडियन वैक्सीन.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
Will be
And then,
You have to mute everybody.
no,
Tell everybody to
I'm unmuting the audio for this laptop.
unmute.
So it'll.
Yes.
There we go.
Mute
I literally have not used it ever.
everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
All right.
Hello,
Okay.
Rhea.
Hello, Manji.
Hi,
Hi,
Mama.
Mohan. Hi, Manji.
Hello, Prema ji.
Hi, Munmun Bua. Hello. Oh, we're on mute.
Yeah.
Unmute.
No, don't.
She has to unmute.
But then we'll get Pete. So then should turn off her volume.
Oh, okay.
No, it will come there.
Yes.
I turned off my volume.
Then shall I
So
raise the volume there?
But then who will धनंजयचं कसं ऐकू येणार आणि इराचं?
From
Oh,
the
No, hang on.
Right.
You, okay, say something, unmute everybody and let's see. Chitra Aksar has come, Ritu has come.
Oh, good.
Who's Raj? Oh,
Choti.
oh, it's Raj.
Who is Raj? It's Raj Patel.
Raj Patel. You-
Oh my god. Wait, am I not muted?
Oh, mommy, Arna Masi.
Oh my God, yeah.
देख रहे हो तुमको? Oh, hi.
Arna Mausi means Arsi
This is
Bharti.
Sharat.
Oh.
Echo होतंय का?
Yeah. Hey, Deepa.
You need to move
Okay,
here.
should I mute? I will.
Because she has to be there for the puja.
Yeah, I turned off my sun up and I'm on.
But what about your
now
sound?
it won't echo.
Now.
No, because we need to hear the audio of the puja, right? So this is gonna, the microphone is still on for this one.
Arna Masi, namaste.
I can't see you.
Oh, इसके दिल्ली वाले वहाँ।
Hello,
उनके
बच्ची भैया.
सबसे बड़े भाई है अब ये पूजा करो इसलिए तो पूरे अब कास्टिंग में रह गए पूजा बोल के कौन है देखने में ओके
सबको इधर से बड़े लोग हैं सब
एक तो सांग सर मैं आई एम म्यूटिंग एवरीबॉडी बिकॉज़ द पूजा इज स्टार्टिंग
Okay.
सबको इधर से
Wait,
मतलब-
should I just
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
तो इधर इधर
Oh,
इधर इधर है ना?
okay, yeah, you can
मैं-
say it here. Just say it.
Okay, everybody is going to get muted because the puja is starting. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone got it.
Ira's daughter. Ira's daughter.
पानी हाथों में लेकर। ओम केशवाय नमः नारायण नमः माधवाय नमः तीन बार और चौथी बार इसमें डालूंगा।
Pooja, you can hear, otherwise you can't talk to others.
We are not muted.
ओम गोविंदाय नमः। This is we are just doing act one. वो भगवान की प्रार्थना की पहले अभी we'll start with the main this one. तो अभी सब जगह और इसका नाम लेते हैं। विष्णु 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 इह पृथिव्याम अमेरिका खंडे पंचमहासरोवर मध्ये अनार्बल नगरे अद्य शर्वरी नाम संवत्सरे मार्गशीर्ष मासे शुक्ल पक्षे द्वादशी तिथौ शनिवासरे कृतिका नक्षत्रे प्रेतस्य मम पितुः पिंडप्रदान दियुक्तम एकोदिष्टम श्राद्धम करिष्ये। तो मैं मेरे पिताजी का श्राद्ध कर रही हूँ, ऐसा पिता ने बोला। अब ये रेखाकरण करते हैं। रेखाकरण इज just to get rid of negative bad tendencies and राक्षसी this one. तो ये हाथ में देने का दर्भ। ये पानी में डुबोने का।
इस पानी में?
Then draw a line like this towards north, southeast. ऐसे इधर से इधर। So then I'll chant the mantra. Apahata asuran rakshamsi veshdi shadar. So we are getting rid of all asuri and rakshasi pravritti. So asuri और rakshasi pravritti को भगा देते हैं। तो अपनी पूजा सब शांति से हो जाए इसलिए अभी आसन शुद्ध हो। अभी ये दूसरा दर्भ रखा है तो अभी अंगूठा और ये ऐसा पकड़ते हो, कैसा होता है ऐसे ऐसे करो और इस पे पानी डाल दो। नहीं, लेफ्ट से पानी ले लो और इसके ऊपर ऐसे डाल दो, इसके गर्भ के ऊपर। तो वी आर प्यूरिफाइंग इट।
My purse is there.
नहीं, एक ही जगह। तो ये दर्भ के ऊपर पानी डाल के हम उसकी शुद्धि कर लेते हैं। इदम आसनम सुशासनम। तो ये दर्भ जो है वो आसन के द्वारा, आसन के स्वरूप में हम लोग मान रहे हैं। वो जो आत्मा है उसको आके बैठने के लिए। अभी ये राइस बॉल इसके ऊपर रख दो। अभी मैं बोलता हूँ। वंदानश गोत्र भार्गव कुलोत्पन्न हे पितः अयम ते पिंड उपतिष्ठा। तो हम लोग अभी प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं कि वो आके इस पिंड में बस जाए। So we are inviting him here. अभी अंगूठे से फिर से राइस बॉल के ऊपर पानी छोड़ने का। शुद्धताम प्रेतः, शुद्धताम प्रेतः।
Oh, शिवानी, Inna is trying to join in. Yeah, better. Okay. Bye.
इससे थोड़ा अर्पण करना। हे पितः बोलने का हे पितः अभ्यक्षंगम अभ्यक्षस्व। तो हम लोग दही उनको अर्पण करते हैं उनके देह को शांति और स्निग्धता मिलने के लिए। This is just all symbolic thing. अभी प्रार्थना करते हैं अनेन एकोदिष्ठेन श्राद्धेन श्री परमेश्वर प्रियताम। तो अभी we are praying, भगवान की प्रार्थना करते हैं कि ये पूजा से और इस श्राद्ध से परमेश्वर की प्रसन्नता हो। ओम तत्सत ओम तत्सत ओम तत्सत ओम तत्सत ओम तत्सत ओम तत्सत। अभी फिर से आचमन करने का 3 बार। नहीं ऐसे पूजा। ओम केशवाय नमः ओम नारायण नमः ओम माधवाय नमः ओम गोविंदाय नमः। छोड़ने का हम 3 तीसरा और गोविंदाय नमः आगे छोड़ने का और आप पूछो।
You have to tell in the light to unmute herself. Mute herself.
अभी
Oh, then
अनुलोम विलोम। अभी ये पिंड का ये हो गया, बाद में ये हम लोग बाहर पेड़ के नीचे रख देंगे पिंड। अभी दूसरा विधि है कि उनको उनके पूर्वजों से मिलाने का, तो इसलिए हम लोग अभी दूसरे इसमें अरेंज करते हैं। फिर से आचमन करने का। ओम केशवाय नमः ओम नारायण नमः ओम माधवाय नमः ओम गोविंदाय नमः। फिर से विष्णु विष्णु विष्णु
विष्णु विष्णु विष्णु
इथ पृथिव्याम अमेरिका खंडे पंचमहासरोवर मध्ये अनार्बर नगरे अद्य शर्वरी नाम संवत्सरे मार्गशीर्ष मासे शुक्ल पक्षे द्वादशी तिथौ शनिवासरे कृत्तिका नक्षत्रे सत्यमित्र प्रेतस्य प्रेतपितृ पितामह प्रपितामहैः बन्दालस्य गोत्रे भार्गव कुलोत्पन्ने रामचंद्र रामजीवनलाल लक्षीराम नामभिः वसुरुद्रादि आदित्य स्वरूपैः सह सपंडीकरणं करिष्ये। अभी हाथ से पानी तो हम लोग अभी प्रार्थना की कि हम लोग अभी अंकल के पिता दादाजी और परदादाजी के साथ सबकी पूजा करते हैं और उनको आह्वान करते हैं। और अभी सब प्लेस एंड टाइम का सब कौन सा महीना चल रहा है वो सब बोल दिया, क्योंकि हम उस दिन में पूजा कर रहे हैं। अभी इस ट्रे में ऐसा डायगोनल पानी नहीं है,
एक ही है
एक ऐसा डायगोनल प्रेशर।
इधर रखो।
हाँ, अपहता आसुराम रक्षांसी वेदिशतर। सो अगेन हम लोग वो आसुरी प्रवृत्ति उनको भगा देते हैं। सो दिस इज शुद्धिकरण। ये नए दर्भ है, ये यहाँ पे रख देता है। तो ये दर्भ जो है दैट विल एक्ट एज उनके लिए आसन। इदम आसनम कुशासनम, इदम आसनम कुशासनम। तो ये कुश ग्रास है, उस वी आर ऑफरिंग देम एज आसन। इन में अब ये 3 उसके पे है। I'll not chat, you don't say. Yeah, you can just say in your mind. अयम ते पिंड उपतिष्ठताम। तो ये पिंड के रूप में हम लोग उनको आह्वान करते हैं। So they should come and reside in this पिंड। अभी फिर से ऐसे अंगूठे से चारों पिंड के ऊपर पानी छोड़ना।
ऐसे ना?
ऐसे। चारों पिंड। शुद्धताम प्रेत। तो हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि अभी सब यहाँ पे शुद्धता हो जाए, प्यूरिफाई सब हो जाए। शुद्धताम प्रेत से पिता, सो उनके पिताजी का भी सब शुद्ध हो जाए पिंड। शुद्धताम प्रेत से पितामह, तो उनके दादाजी का। शुद्धताम प्रेत से प्रपितामह, तो चारों जन के लिए हम लोगों ने शुद्धता की। अभी नेक्स्ट ईयर पिंड प्रदान। एतत्ते प्रेतस्य पितः, ये च ते त्वामत्रानु। एतत्ते प्रेतस्य पितामह, ये च ते त्वामत्रानु। एतत्ते प्रेतस्य प्रपितामह, ये च ते त्वामत्रानु। So we are praying to all the pinda.
No, it doesn't say.
The next प्रार्थना। अत्र पितरो मादयध्वं यथा भागं आवृष्यायध्वं। तो हम लोग प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं कि आप आपके स्थान पर खुश रहे। अभी you have to look over your shoulder to God's side. Yeah. अभी दीर्घ दर्शन अभी नेक्स्ट मंत्र अमीम दंत पितरः अमीम दंत पितरः यथा भागम आवृष्या ईशित तो हम लोग जो ऑफरिंग दे रहे हैं वो देके आप लोग समाधानी तृप्त हो जाइए। अभी फिर से
My sister is trying to join. It takes us time to join.
नहीं ओम केशवाय नमः
Take her 1 year.
ओम नारायण नमः ओम माधवाय नमः ओम गोविंदाय नमः। हाथ पोछिए। फिर से अंगूठे से चारों पिंड पर ऐसे पानी चुनिए। शुद्धतां प्रेतः शुद्धतां प्रेतस्य पिता शुद्धतां प्रेतस्य पितामहः शुद्धतां प्रेतस्य प्रपितामहः अभी जो दही है ना वो चारों को लगाने का। प्रेत अभ्यंगस्व प्रेतस्य पितः अभ्यंगस्व प्रेतस्य पितामहः अभ्यंगस्व प्रेतस्य प्रपितामहः अभ्यंगस्व। काजल की नहीं इधर ही थी
वो जाली काजल का छोटा सा क्यूट
हाँ उधर ही रहता सुपारी के पास है क्या?
मैं देखा था इधर वो जो दूसरा टेबल है ये उनको लगाने का है।
आप थोड़ा आगे आते क्या? आप भी दिखेंगे जूम मीटिंग अभी नहीं दिख रहा है धनंजय के पीछे चुप गया।
मैं आगे से दिख सकता हूँ। नहीं कैन यू सी नाउ? तो सबको लगाने तो हम लोग ने अभी चारों पिंड को काजल अर्पण किया। अभी जैसे भगवान की पूजा करते हैं वैसे ही पिंड की हम लोग पूजा करेंगे। अभी पहले वो ये एक बार करना पड़ेगा तो मैं बता पहले ये वस्त्र अर्पण करने का। एतत् व पितरः व्यासः स्वधा नमः। वन पंच ऐसे चारों तो हम लोग सब पिंड को वस्त्र अर्पण कर रहे हैं सिंबॉलिकली। एतत् व पितरः चंदनं स्वधा नमः। तो हम लोग चंदन अर्पण कर रहे हैं। एते व पितरः तिलाक्षतां स्वधा नमः। तो हम लोग अभी तिल अर्पण कर रहे हैं अक्षता के सब जगह। हाँ मैं बताता हूँ नहीं अभी एतानि व पितरः पुष्पाणि स्वधा नमः। नहीं ऐसे कुछ नहीं हो गिर जाए तो भी कुछ नहीं अर्पण तो किया। एष व पितरः धूप स्वधा नमः। जलाओ और ऐसा ब्राउन करने का और फिर बाद में दूध पे रखते हैं। ये भी जलाते हैं। सॉरी बस हाँ अभी नेक्स्ट स्टेप में दीप जला देंगे।
Okay, that's better.
Give it to me.
Sure. सब दीप जलाते हैं।
ये भी जलाना तो नहीं है?
हाँ सब जला। एष व पितरः दीप स्वधा नमः। तो हम लोग दीप अर्पित करते हैं।
त्रास होता है तुला?
नहीं
मी एग्जॉस्ट करू का?
नहीं और तो लास्ट हो हाँ तो अभी जलेगा तो बाद में भी ऐड कर सकते हैं। तो नैवेद्य तो पैक इथे आहे ना तो राईस नाही तर आपण
I know. I'm getting it.
नैवेद्य दिखाने का है तो 10 टेबल पर प्लेट पड़ा है ये
हाँ
इधर
नहीं भी आप जाओ
कि उसके ऊपर उसके नीचे उनको ब्राउन करना पड़ेगा पानी से।
हाँ
नहीं मैं बोलूंगा तो उसके नीचे राउंड बनाने का। हम लोग नॉर्मली मंडल बनाते हैं चौकोर बनाते हैं लेकिन दिस इज फॉर द बटन सो थाली के नीचे गोल बनाने का पानी से। मैं बोलता हूँ एतत् व पितरः नैवेद्यं स्वधा नमः। तो हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ये प्रसाद भक्षक दीजिए। तो अभी इसके नीचे प्यूरिफाइड ऐसे वन डायरेक्शन हो गया बस। और अभी उसके साथ के उसके बाजू में पानी कर दो नहीं हाँ, ऐसे प्रोक्षण ठीक है अभी तो हम लोग अभी नैवेद्य अर्पण करते हैं। अभी ये पान उसके ऊपर सिर्फ पानी पली से डालने का। एतत् व पितरः कूलीफलताम्बूलम् एषा च दक्षिणा स्वदा नमः। उसके ऊपर पानी डालने का। वी आर ऑफरिंग। तो हम लोग खाने का पान वो तांबूल पत्र बोलते हैं, वो ऑफर किए उनको। अभी बाद में कुछ मंत्र है, वो आपको नहीं भेजे है, ये दूसरे पेज पे है। मैं बोलता हूँ तो यू कैन ट्राई टू फॉलो मी। आप लोग, मैं धीरे से बोलता हूँ, आप एक एक श्लोक उसके बाद बोलते हैं, और बाद में 2 पेजेस है वो सबको भेजे, तो वो बाद में करेंगे। अभी खड़ा रहने का। नमो वः पितर ईशः पितर ईशे नमो वः पितर ऊर्जे। तो मैं अभी इसका मतलब भी बता रहा हूँ। नमो वः पितर ईशे मीन्स हम तुम्हारा जो भोग चढ़ा है उसको उनको हम नमस्कार करते हैं। नमो वः पितर ऊर्जे पितर ऊर्जे, हम आपके चैतन्य को नमस्कार करते हैं। नमो वः पितर सूक्ष्माय पितर सूक्ष्माय, आपके सामर्थ्य को हम लोग नमस्कार करते हैं। नमो वः पितर घोराय पितर घोराय, हम लोग आपके विक्ट्रीज को पराक्रम को नमस्कार करते हैं। नमो वः पितर जीवाय आपके जीवित को और उसके तत्व को हम लोग नमस्कार करते हैं। नमो वः पितर रसाय पितर रसाय, आपके क्वालिटीज को तत्व को नमस्कार करते हैं। स्वधा वः पितरः नमो वः पितरः नमः। स्वधा वः पितरः नमो वः पितरः नमः पितरः नमः। हम लोग बार बार आपको प्रणाम करते हैं। एषां युष्माकं पितरः युष्माकं पितरः इमा अस्माकं जीवो वो जीवन्तः। तो पितृलोक की जो संपत्ति है वो आपकी होनी चाहिए, और इस लोक की संपत्ति हम लोग की होगी। यह संतः श्याम संतः श्याम, आप चैतन्य युक्त होंगे और आपकी आयु पूर्ण होगी। अभी सब लोग आके फूल और तिल अर्पण कर सकते हैं, एक एक करके।
तिल चारों में डालना, फूल Shaki, afterwards I'll read. Aditi will do the presentation. I'll read what I want to read.
Yeah. You can, huh?
So Shivani,
And her.
Can they hear me? Yeah. Okay. Just give me my cell phone. It's on.
Oh, the Pooja is done?
नहीं।
तो इतने जल्दी फोन कर?
Sorry.
अभी तो प्रार्थना भी होना है।
नहीं जाने दो। एक एक करके।
हाँ।
नहीं, काले तिल सबको ऊपर अर्पण करने लगा अक्षता। ये इस सेरेमनी के लिए वो काले तिल में करते हैं। सब एक ही तो ये खा लेती हूँ।
This she wanted.
Okay, near Shivan?
Yeah, out here.
सबका हो गया?
Also, do you want to put this in the gallery view so we can see the people?
No, but I'm spotlighting because some people can't see.
Yeah, but if she changes to gallery view, it's fine. Because you can change on.
Oh, really?
I think so. Let's try it. Yeah. What do you think? Right, so then I think they can still, it's still spotlighted. Yeah.
एलिझाबेथ आणि कोण कोण आहे बघू
काय पाहिजे?
Oh, Manasi.
वेज म्हणून से
Oh, Hema.
ये हिमा है वही देख रहा हूं
Aditi.
छोटी इंद्राणी है
अभी आगे के मैं बोल
एलिझाबेथ माझी बहीण आहे.
ओम मनोन्वा हुवामहे नाराशंसेन सोमेन पितॄणां च मन्मभिः ओम आत हेतु मन पुनः कर्त्वे दक्षाय जीवसे जोकस्य सूर्यं दृश्ये ओम पुनर्न पितर नमः ददातु दैव्यो जन जीवम व्रातम सचेमहि। तो हम लोग अभी इंद्रदेव की प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं नाराशंस स्तोत्र के सहायता से और सोमरस अर्पण करके, और हम लोग ये ऑफरिंग दे रहे हैं सब पितरों का आदर करते हुए। एंड हम लोग अभी इंद्र की प्रार्थना करते हैं कि वो स्वर्गलोक में उनको शामिल कर ले। और दूसरी प्रार्थना थी आपके दिव्य मन और कर्तृत्व और चातुर्वर्य के लिए हम to follow those things that we see the Surya Darshan. So we should get a long life similar to what you have achieved. That is the meaning. अभी चला।
It also depends on the internet.
और आगे की प्रार्थना थी हमारे पितर और देवों के कारण हम लोगों को अच्छा जीवन प्राप्त हो सके। उसके कारण ही हम लोग मित्र परिवार के साथ एक साथ जुटे रहे। अभी जो पिंड है ये बड़ा उसको 3 छेदों में ये करने का और ये तीनों में मिलाने का। हाँ, बट वो दर्भ से काट सकते हैं। दर्भ ये दर्भ है ना, इसे ऐसा इम्प्रेशन करके 3 ये कर दो, 3 हिस्से कर दो और देन एक हिस्सा उठा के इसमें तीनों को मिलाने का। अभी हम नेक्स्ट स्टेप कर रहे हैं सपिंडीकरण। तो पिंड को 3 पीढ़ियों के साथ जुटा देते हैं। तो सिंबॉलिकली दे शुड स्टे टुगेदर, दैट्स द मीनिंग। प्रेतस्य पिंडः तत पितरा दिपिंडैः संयोज्यस्य। सो हम लोग 3 पिंडों में पिछले पुरखों को समाविष्ट कर देते हैं। And just press it on. No, press it on that. That's all. अभी जो सबको पेजेस भेजे थे, those are the pages coming up, तो वो हम सब लोग साथ में बोल सकते हैं।
So do you have to unmute? Shaki, should we unmute them?
नहीं,
No.
बोल।
Oh, not those people.
इधर के लोग सब बोल सकते हैं, सबको कॉपी दिए तो।
Sanskrit.
चालू करूं?
आंटी को दो। आंटी मम्मी।
संस्कृत में देवनागरी लिपि। तो ये प्रेयर है, कॉमन प्रार्थना है, सब लोग मिलके बोल सकते हैं। आप आपके घर में बोल सकते हैं। ओम संगच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मनांसि जानतां देवा भागम तथा पूर्वे संजानाना उपासते। तो ये श्लोक है, हे पितर लोगों, तुम एक साथ रहो, आप एक मुख से बात करो, आपके ख्याल एक साथ हो, और हम लोग जो ऑफरिंग दिए वो एक्सेप्ट कर लीजिए। ओम समानो मंत्रः समितिः समानी समानं मनसः चित्तमेषां समानं मंत्रम अभिमन्यत्रे अभिमंत्रये व समानेन वो हविषा जुहोमि। तो हे पितर, आपकी प्रार्थना सब एक हो, आपका रहना एक साथ हो, आपका मन एक हो। हम लोग आपके लिए ये प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं। तो एक ही मंत्र में आप सबकी हम लोग पूजा कर रहे हैं, चारों पीढ़ियों की। ओम समानी व आकुति ही समाना हृदयानि वह समानमस्तु वो मनः यथा वह सुसहासति। तो पितरों, आपका अभिप्राय एक ही हो, आपके हृदय एक ही हो, आपके मन एक हो, और आपका कार्य अच्छा हो और एकजुट से हो। अभी नेक्स्ट विधि पिंड विसर्जन। तो अभी ये सब हो गया, तो अभी विल डू द विसर्जन जस्ट लाइक डू द गणेश विसर्जन। तो उसके लिए मैं अभी मंत्र पढ़ता हूँ। परेत पितरः सौम्याः गंभीरैः पथिभिः पूर्वैः तत्वाय अस्मभ्यं द्रविणेः भद्रं प्रयुञ्चनः सर्ववीरं नियच्छत वीरं मे दत्तपितरः। तो हम लोग पितरों को बोल रहे हैं कि आप लोगों ने हमको इतनी सारी संपत्ति और अच्छी समृद्धि दी है, तो आप आगे भी हम लोगों के ऊपर ऐसे ही कृपा करें और हमको अच्छा बल और वीर संपत्ति और संतति दे। अभी प्रार्थना है। दातारो नो विवर्धताम वेदाः संततिरेव नः श्रद्धा च नोमा व्यगमत् बहुदेयं च नोस्त्विति अन्नं च नो बहु भवेत् अतिथिंश्च लभेमहि याचितारश्च न सन्तु मा च याचिष्व कंचन। तो हम लोगों के पास काफी संपत्ति हो, हमारे पास संतान हो, ज्ञान हो, हमारे पास श्रद्धा हो, हमारे पास समाज को देने के लिए, दूसरों को देने के काफी चीजें हो, हमारे यहाँ खूब खाना पके, मेहमान आए, और हम लोग के पास लोगों को देने के काफी सारी चीजें हो, लेकिन हमें दूसरों से कोई मांगने की चिंता न पड़े। अभी ये मेन सब सेरेमनी हो गई है, तो अभी उदक छोड़ने का है, पानी हाथ से छोड़ने का। आणि दोन आचमन अभी कर्म समाप्ति। अनेन सपिंडीकरणेन श्री परमेश्वर प्रियताम। So हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि इस सपटीकरण क्रिया से परमेश्वर भगवान प्रसन्न हो जाए। फिर से उद्धव अभी आचमन करने का। ओम केशवाय नमः, ओम नारायणाय नमः, ओम माधवाय नमः, ओम गोविंदाय नमः, ओम तत्सत ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। तो हम लोग ये ईश्वर के चरणों में पूजा अर्पित करते हैं।
Should we have the presentation first?
ऐसे भी
आरती।
आरती कशात?
क्योंकि आरती की थाली दे दो ना, आरती की छोटी सी We have the lighter here. भगवान की मूर्ति हो ना, क्योंकि गणेश हो ना प्लीज।
कुठली देवाची मूर्ती काढ।
देवाची मूर्ती गणपतीचे 4 आहे, छोटी
लाव ना। ये सुपारी भी गणेश जी के जैसे रख सकते हैं। करें तो यू आर फाइंडिंग
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी, जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी, जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, हरे फल पाए दुख दिन से मन का, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहूँ किसकी, शरण गहूँ किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, तुम बिन और न दूजा, आस करूं जिसकी, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। परब्रह्म परमेश्वर, परब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। करुणा के सागर तुम पावन करता, मैं मूरख फलतामी, सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता, जय जगदीश हरे। एक पूजन सबके प्राण प्रति, किसी विघ्न मिलो दयामय, किसी विघ्न मिलो दयामय, तुमको मैं तुमकी, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, नाथ तुम मेरे, आश्रित तुम मेरे, अपने हाथ उठा, अपनी शरण लगा, द्वार बना तेरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
अभी 4 गाना हम लोग ये बताना बोलते हैं, वो सबके ऊपर ऐसा एक एक पान डालते हैं। तुलसी पत्ती नहीं है हमारे यहाँ, इनके ऊपर डाल दो, इससे रहेगा का बना। हाँ लेकिन वो मैं बोला था दे सबको उतना। और ये जो प्रसाद सबको देने का है ना,
हाँ।
वो उधर स्टूल पे रह किसी पे रख के जस्ट प्रसाद रख रहे हो, बाद में सबको खाने के बाद एक एक ये देने।
हाँ, तो अभी इधर रखो।
हाँ ये इधर भी कर सकते हैं, इधर भी वहाँ जहाँ पे कन्वीनियंट, जस्ट पानी फिर दो, जस्ट प्रसाद दिखाने के लिए, तो बाद में वो सबको देने का है ना एक एक। Abhi, you want to show the thing, right?
Yeah. Aditi, do you want to do your presentation?
Why are you talking there?
Oh, sorry.
She's here. Here, ask her.
I thought you were going to read out.
Okay, let me read first. Read my cell phone. Oh, thanks for that. Okay, let me read out.
Okay, now get that on the big screen.
Okay, so I'm going to read some stuff, some words that people have written about Papa. I'm going to begin with Badi Bua.
Yeah, can you not blank out your screen, because that's the one that. everybody can see.
I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. So this is what Badi Bua, my father's older sister, wrote. Older sister, younger sister. Memories are indeed valuable. They don't let the past fade away. I have vivid memories of Bhaiya. 1 second. Of Bhaiya dropping me off to school on his cycle, playing games with us, letting me hold the patra, the charak, and even embroidering and stitching with Amma, Choti and me. These weren't much. There wasn't much that he couldn't do, including making me believe in ghosts and fairies. When Pitaji was posted in Azamgarh, Amma joined the ladies club there. I'm sorry,
You want me to read it?
please. Badi Bua, Choti Bua, Matu Chacha,
Okay, कहाँ पे थे तुम?
ladies club. Azamgarh.
When Pitaji was posted in Azamgarh, Amma joined the ladies' club there and had 2 tall eucalyptus trees which were visible from our house. Puchi Bhaiya and Bhaiya would tell me that ghosts live on those trees and would scare me to do all their other jobs. Believing in ghosts was particularly easy at the grand old age of 7, when my childhood was filled with stories of fairies told by Chachaji, who was a willing accomplice of my brothers in making sure that ghosts and fairies were an integral part of my world. Fairies came knocking and Bhaiya would ask me to open the door, and I would find my favorite candies and Puchi Bhaiya, but no fairy, of course. The fairy only met my brothers and Chachaji and left me candies and messages. One day I asked them to tell the fairies that I wanted to fly. It was arranged with the fairies. I was taken to the room on the 2nd floor of our Lucknow house and told to lie down on a khatola with my eyes closed. Soon I was airborne, and then I was scared that if I kept rising up, I would hit the ceiling and open my eyes. And I discovered my brothers holding the khatola to make me fly. That was the end of the fairy tale era in my life. Bhaiya was a brilliant scholar and secured 2nd rank in the university in BSc Honors, ensuring that all the sacrifices made by Amma and Pitaji for our studies were worth it. He set high standards for us to emulate. His sense of responsibility towards us, Choti, Matu, and me, was immense. He came to Aligarh all the way from Tinsukia in Assam to travel with Amma and me to Udaipur, where I was to join my first job. I will miss his phone calls and is asking me the exact time. As I write this, Bhaiya, it's 3:26 p.m.
This is Choti Bua's message. Okay, we're going to read Choti Bua's message next.
So that was Badi Bua?
That was from Badi Bua, yeah. Okay, read the beginning.
So it's from Choti Bua, Kamlini Trentham. Hi Ira, I attached the letter I wrote. Please read it, and if you think it is too personal and inappropriate to be read, I am happy for you not to read, or maybe you could just read the first part and the last part of the letter, excluding the definition of the pearls of wisdom. I leave it for you to decide. I have not been able to locate the Janam Patris. Double vision is not helping look through the files, but we'll try again and maybe I will be lucky. Have you heard from Badi Bari or Poppy Gigi, as she is most likely to know the Gotra? Now the letter. While doing a course on authentic happiness, I learned the importance of gratitude. We were asked to write a letter expressing our gratitude to someone we owe gratitude, but have not expressed it. Many of the students express their gratitude to their parents or to a teacher. I chose my brother. He may well have been the best teacher I had. Neither of us knew that at the time. Bhaiya never knew, and it took me a while before I realized it. Dear Bhaiya, I know I have never said this in person to you, but I do hope that I will have a chance to do so. You are the one person who has influenced my life the most, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I don't think I realized it myself until I began to question my actions. I can see you amazed and hear you say how. I have only two beliefs or principles or whatever you may like to call them by which I have lived my life. I remember you defining them for me. I don't remember when, but I know it was when I was in Benares and you were in Lucknow before you got married. I think I came to Lucknow on a holiday and Amma was there. I think you probably talked about yourself and had no idea how it would change my life. It struck with me. I thought about it and it made so much sense. These pearls of wisdoms have taken me through ups and downs of life. I bet you don't remember what the pearls of wisdom were that you gave me so generously. My husband, children, and many of my friends know it by now. If there is a problem, solve it. If it is important, move heaven and earth. These are my words. But if you have done all you can and can't do anything more than that, then don't worry. If you worry, you can't think constructively. The result is that I rarely worry and rarely am stressed. Don't expect anything from anybody. This way you won't be disappointed. If you do get something, then you will be happy. You are a winner either way. These are gems that will stay with me forever. I will not deny that there have been occasions in my life when I have diverted and created unhappiness for myself and perhaps for people around me. But I am glad to say I have so far always got back on the track. I really am so grateful. Affectionately, Choti.
There's one from Matu Chacha. Yeah.
You want to read some photos?
Yeah. Wait. Matu Chacha.
Okay, this is from Dr. Madhumitra Bhargav, Matu Chacha. I have several fond memories of my brother Bhaiya. When I was 6 to 8 years old, he taught me how to fly a kite, how to bicycle, how to play carom and cards. Those were such fun-filled days. I was fortunate enough to live with Bhaiya for a year when I was doing my MSc in Lucknow University and he was posted as Deputy CME in Lucknow. DCME.
DME.
No, he said DCME. Almost every night we had dinner together and will discuss the issues of the day. He taught me to be honest, logical, thoughtful, and considerate of others. Bhaiya was a brilliant student, always getting first division. He was in Germany for a year on assignment from Indian Railways and learned German as good as a German brought up in Germany. He spent few days with me in Bombay and taught me some German words and sentences, which I still remember. I visited Bhaiya in India when he was GM of Indian Railways diesel locomotive factory. When he and some of his co-workers were showing me the factory, he had to receive a phone call and be away. His co-workers told me he was the most honest, hardworking, considerate boss they ever had. Since he moved to Ann Arbor, I visited him twice and have talked to him once or twice a week. During our conversations, when I asked him how he was doing, he would always say, "गाड़ी चल रही है, भैया, तुम्हारी गाड़ी हमारे दिल में हमेशा चलती रहेगी. I will miss my brother dearly."
Okay.
Now
So,
will you do it?
yeah.
Okay. Good.
So we have 2 or 3 letters that my dad's colleagues wrote. Very, with their, very touching letters. Oh, there's somebody else also. Dear Iraji ji. Okay, here is one more which just came. It says, Dear Iraji ji, I would like to share a few memories of Fufaji. Growing up, I used to always look forward to Fufaji's visits. He would always have something new, always incredible, almost magical experiences to share and introduce me to. Fufaji was such a brilliant man, way ahead of his time. He opened the door to a fascinating world of amateur radio. Remember, this was years, no, decades before internet, email, and cell phones. It was so exciting to sit at home and talk to people all over the world. In a different country, on a ship, at the North Pole, even King Hussein of Jordan. I vividly recall Fufaji describing the details and differences of the antennas, dipole, Yagi, and quad. how he used an old World War aircraft wing motor found at the junk market to make the antenna rotor. Unfortunately, did not become a ham, but my love and passion for do-it-yourself electronics is only because of him. He introduced me to Heathkit. I too built several over the years, and I proudly have one of the ones he built as well, the HW101 or Hot Water 101 over the years. I have met several hams, including one in Tanzania, who showed me a QSL card from BU to HI, which Pooja had sent him. I wish I had more time with him. I have very precious and fond memories. 73 is Pooja, I miss you. I think this is Sharad, I'm not sure. Mayank. Oh, Mayank. Mayank, he just texted me, Mayank. Okay, sorry, Mayank. I apologize. Okay, then. No, wait, I have two more to read. Just two more. Sorry, I should have kept them in front, but okay. Here's one from one of my father's colleagues. He wrote, Dear Pramilaji and Ida, we can well imagine your personal loss. The bond between you, Pramilaji, and Bhargav sir was unique. And Ida was a playful child. The playful child was so much doted upon by Bhargav sir. For me, it has been a loss of a guru. He was a true friend, philosopher, and guide. The early years of my work career that I had under his wings were to be the bedrock of my work habits for the rest of my life. Though I did meet him a few times after Aizat Nagar, whenever confronted with a ticklish problem, I had my answer from his teachings. Arsad, who took his first step from his lap and used to be of much amusement at our bridge table. Kusum joins me in conveying our heartfelt condolences to you. May God bless his revered soul with peace and give enough strength to you both and the family, enough strength to bear with the irreparable loss. In affectionately, Chandar. There's just
This chap,
yeah,
last
please, I
match
have
was
two more.
we worked together in 1970.
PC Verma is in my email and V.
Hold
Anand is
it.
in.
My friend. Who is it?
Papa's colleague, PC Verma.
Another colleague called Pramod Verma, and he titles it Deeply Saddened. Ira, we have just heard about the sad passing away of respected and beloved Mr. SM Bhargav. We are deeply saddened. A brilliant engineer, a great administrator, he also excelled on the sports field. He was respected and loved by all. Our heartfelt condolences to Mrs. Bhargav and you all. May God grant him eternal peace. Rest in peace, sir. In grief, Pramod Verma.
उसमें नीचे भी कुछ था। अच्छा, anyway, एक याहू में है।
किसका है?
ये बनारस में साथ थे।
This is from Mr. Venkateshwaran Anand.
He wrote also in his book about Papa.
You want to say that louder? No, you want to say that louder?
No, he wrote about Papa in the book he's been writing.
Dear Ira, I got the news of Sri Bhargava's passing away from R. Sharma 1964 batch. Revati and I are deeply saddened. Our heartfelt condolences to you and Ma. May God give us the strength to bear this loss. I suppose he was in USA with you. My friends and colleagues want to send messages. Can I pass on this email address to them? While tributes and condolence messages are pouring in, I have posted the following extract from my book, Mentors, Tormentors, and Dementors. SM Bhargav, this is the title. I first met Sri Satyamitra Bhargav when he was DRM, Divisional Railway Manager, Bilaspur, Southeastern Railway. 40% of the traffic originating all over Indian railways used to be loaded by the Southeastern Railway, known as the Blue Chip Railway. A big chunk out of this was contributed by Bilaspur Division, the major commodity being coal from the Central India coalfield area. The movement of coal from the various sidings in Bilaspur Division to the powerhouses in Gujarat and Maharashtra depended on the diesel locomotives from the new Katni diesel shed. The availability of locomotives fell sharply from the beginning of 1981. Their reliability also became a serious issue. Sri Bhargav took a proactive role in sorting out the problems of the diesel shed, especially offering technical guidance. It would appear that I had created a very favorable impression on Bhargav. After working in Bhusawal and New Katni for over 7 years, my long cherished desire for a posting in Mumbai was fulfilled. I had just taken over as the chief project manager of the Parel workshop project and moved my personal effects into a palatial apartment near the Regal Cinema when I was informed that I had been transferred to the diesel locomotive works Varanasi. This was a bolt from the blue. I sought an interview with the general manager, Sri Vijay Singh, but stopped in my tracks when his secretary told me that the GM had already passed orders that I should be relieved forthwith. I sought the chief mechanical engineer's advice. He told me to meet the member mechanical railway board, Sri P.S. Chaudhary. Only then it dawned upon me that Sri Bhargav, the GM of DLW, had specifically asked for my services, and the MM, who was the CME, Chief Mechanical Engineer, Southeastern Railway, and who was aware of my achievements or lack of them. Sri R.K. Shukla, who was DRM Bhusawal, gave a piece of excellent advice. You must readily go to an organization which wants you rather than sticking to an organization which has not shown any inclination to retain you. You should consider it an honor and privilege that Sri Bhargav has requisitioned your services. The DLW under Sri Bhargav and the CME Sri Masiur Zaman was quite different from the snobbish DLW which I had seen in the 60s and 70s. They showed me the ropes in the organization. The railway's production units have a fixation about meeting the physical targets for outturn, even if the quality suffers. Bhargav had made it clear that quality would be his priority. He also prevented DLW from succumbing to the temptation of granting overtime to the employees just to meet numerical targets. Though his attention to detail was extraordinary, he never micromanaged the work, giving his managers a free hand and delegating authority. Sri Bhargav is a whiz at electronics and an avid amateur radio operator. He is a proficient golfer, swimmer, and bridge player. Yours in chief, V. Anand.
There's one from one gentleman called Rana Pratap Madan. He wrote yesterday a long message, very, very touching. This is the last one I read. I don't know.
He was also in Azadnagar in 1967 to 70.
1 second, I'll just read this one, last one. I can't find it as usual. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the Rana Pratap Madan sent another one. Sent one yesterday, and I can't find it. I think it's in WhatsApp, but I'm not sure. RP Madan.
This one. Pura padna vaise? Okay. This is from Mr. Rana Pratap Madan. Dear Ira, very nice of your mom to have remembered us. In fact, I am so touched by your parents to give such a great time in Azadnagar. While I learnt a lot at work under your dad, your mom fed us anytime by keeping fire in the kitchen burning. When your dad was in Secunderabad, I was suddenly booked for 5 days training in IRISET, that's the Indian Railways Institute of Signal Engineering and Telecommunication, and my newly wedded wife stayed at their place. Later, when your dad became a golfer, we met at a number of golf parties. In all fairness, to tell you a bit about my family, my wife, Dr. Arna, is a pathologist, our 2 children.
All that you don't need to read. That's all?
That's it. Kindly convey our regards to your mom, Ran.
Okay. Let's do Aditi. Aditi, do you want to do your presentation, please?
Would it?
Hi. Hi, Aditi.
Volume. Aditi, say something.
Bear with me, I'm just pulling up the presentation.
Can the others see it, Aditi? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to allow me to share my screen.
Okay, go ahead, share your screen. It says talking, but nobody's talking.
Aditi, can you talk?
I can, but I think it's sharing the wrong screen.
No, it's not. It's got Papa's photo on it.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
You got it.
Just go full screen. Yeah.
Oops, we got you now.
Now it's you.
Oh, let's see.
Readable.
It's sharing?
Yeah.
You just go into presentation mode, Aditi.
I'm trying.
There you go.
Yeah. Correct. Got it.
Okay. This thing. Do you actually see the full screen, or you see the, I guess, all of us at the bottom?
It's okay. We can see well. Go on.
Yeah, it's perfect. Full screen.
Okay, well, it's my pleasure to actually give this little presentation on Mama's life. And I always will remember him as this extremely exuberant, smiling person. I've never seen him unhappy or sad or even angry. And this picture captures that so well. And that, of course, reminds me of these lines in a poem by William Wordsworth about daffodils, but I always felt so happy in his company. Alongside is a copy of a book. I think I don't know if you can see this, which was written by one of his colleagues, G.S. Kumar. And when he gave me a copy of this book, I asked him to write something on the book, and he was so surprised, and he wanted to know why I wanted his autograph. And I said, well, that's what people do. And he was just so simple and so sweet. He just couldn't get or think about what to write. So all he wrote was, as you can see, dear Aditi, this is me, as if he needed that reminder that this is him, and lots of love. And that was pretty much it. So these are Mama's parents and my Nana and Nani, Ramchandra Bhargav and Gayatri Bhargav. Never met them. They died before I was born. But I happen to have a daughter who's also named Gayatri, and that was such an immense source of amazement and pleasure for Mama, especially when he started to lose his memory. And every time he would hear the word Gayatri, he would ask me, do you know Gayatri was my Amma? And so he was always excited to talk to Gayatri no matter what. These were the famous five. Puchi Mama, my mother Lakshmi or Badi, my Mausi Choti, and the adorable little Matu Mama right there. And of course, the dashing, handsome Bhaiya Mama. You've heard of all the stories about Mama in Aligarh, Azamgarh, and other places. And here he is with my mother. he had immense, I don't know what are the right words, but a great partner and a doting wife. He was a doting husband in Pramila Bua.
कितनी अजीब वो लग रही different.
कौन?
So Bua, of course, has been such an immense force in his life, which you could see throughout till, of course, he died. But as I learned more from reading that book, that Bua was not just his life partner, but also influenced so much of his, or facilitated his career in railways, which is amazing. And it was amazing to learn that Bua, who was always so quiet and soft-spoken, had such a huge influence on Mama's life. And here they are with their daughter, Ira. I remember all the fun times we had with them when we visited Hyderabad or Secunderabad. And of course, you can see his signature smile and always willing to have fun or play ball. And here's another one where he's the only one who's smiling, whereas everyone looks sad and grumpy, with the exception of a few kids and maybe Mossy. And this is a trip to Sholapur that I will not forget, where he made us record or say all kinds of silly things. And I wish we could hear that recording. I don't know if that's saved somewhere, but I think every single person who is in this photo and not in this photo was asked to say something silly, and he recorded that. I'm sure Ritu probably has better memories of a number of things. I'm not so good with some of the older memories, but Ritu is amazing. So maybe she could share. Ira and Shekhar's wedding in '82, which I missed, but got to hear a lot about it from my sister Ritu. And their 50th anniversary in Delhi that I also missed, but I assume everybody else who attended had lots of fun and memories. There's little Ria in there. I remember having all the Skype calls with the 5 siblings, as well as with the next generation. And as you can see, Bhaiya Mama was always the one with questions, and have had him visit us a few times. This was a trip where Balu Chacha and Chachi drove them from Santa Barbara, and we visited Half Moon Bay. This is in front of our house. And this is, of course, my favorite picture, where Mama was just as excited to see things as in this picture you could see, which my father took of Ira when she was a little baby. And Mama saw these lemons on our tree, and they were so big. He was just amazed that the lemons could be so big, and you can see that amazement on his face. This is at their 60th wedding anniversary in Ann Arbor last year, which I had the good fortune to attend. So I have very pleasant memories of Mama, which, of course, his smile is his signature smile. So thank you for letting me share this.
Oh. But how will they know? Does anybody else want to say anything? Bachi Mama or anybody wants to say anything? Yeah. because you won't be able to see this.
I do, Ira. This is Sunanda.
Sunanda Mami, namaste.
Namaste, namaste. I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't have wonderful memories of Bhayaji. And I probably will get emotional.
Second row.
I think Choti ji said he was an influence. Bhayaji was one of the biggest influence in my career. When I chose to move from technical to management, I visited Hyderabad alone in 1995, and Bhayaji and I would go on walks around the golf course. And he literally mentored my management career with a few lessons, always smiling, always joking. I don't think I ever remember him saying that anything is a problem that can't be solved. You just have to think it through. And like my mother, who used to say, if it's out of your control, let it go. He would say, if it's out of your control, focus on what you can do and not on what can't be done. Another lesson that he taught me, which I thought was a lot of fun, and I deployed it all through my executive life, was you have a visitor in your office, and he had a three-pronged triangular, one of those things that you have sayings on, and he would present it to the visitor, would say, time is precious. And if the visitor continued and didn't take the hint, he would turn it and say, your time is precious. And if that didn't go through, then he would turn it again and he would say, my time is precious. It's time to end the meeting. And that worked very well for me all through my career. I also remember Bhayaji saying, keeping on moving is very important. And he would come to California and would be walking in the morning, he'd be walking in the evening, he'd be talking about walking around the yard. And he was always, always willing to play. And one of my best memories is it didn't matter who he talked to, what their age was. He was able to relate to them, from babies and children when the kids were growing up, through their adolescent years, to the older people. Every time, I don't know how he did it, but his way of relating has been a beacon of light all through my life. Everybody said how brilliant he was. What I remember is what a wonderful man he was, and how kind and generous and loving. And that shone through like an internal light that went straight to your heart. Thank you for letting me share.
Ira, could I say just a few more words?
Of course, Bua. Go ahead, Bua.
Right. I think it reminded me when Sunanda said that Bhaiya was always game for playing anything. And it just reminded me, there are many people here who would remember that, how much he loved playing chopper.
I do, and I wanted to say that in my presentation, but I left it for you to tell him about Neil and Bhaiya Mama's chopper.
I was just going to say that because one thing, you probably, most of you know that my son Neil died last year. But the thing that really he remembered till very last is how he learned all the mannerisms, like Haira, Bhaiya will do this. Every time he didn't get what he wanted, he'll say Haira. And Neil learned to do that exactly the same. And I have never enjoyed playing chopper with anybody as much as I did with Bhaiya. Particularly when he was losing. It was absolutely brilliant. And I think Ira might remember that. Bibojiji will certainly remember that because she always played with us. And Aditi will definitely remember because she has also played both with Bhaiya and Matu. Sorry, Neil. So that was amazing. He never ever said, no, I'm too tired, or I haven't got the time. He was always ready. And I will miss that terribly, that I won't have another chance to play chopper with him. Bibo Gigi, do you remember that?
Yeah, even I remember Bua.
We
But I
all
also
do.
remember Bua used to cheat. More than him playing with Neil.
They're cheating and wanting to do Bavli, and the most amount of pleasure when anybody was in the Gume Saro.
Well, when he came here, we taught him how to play a game called Sati. And when he would be losing, he wanted to change
Whatever
the.
it is, he'll say 25.
Yeah. He would always change the rules. He said, why can't we play a different way so I can win?
Anybody else would like to share a few memories?
I even remember Bhayaji playing chopper, not only with Ammaji, but Bhayaji's mother.
Oh, yes.
I remember that.
Yes, I
When I
think.
was not even 5 years old, I remember visiting Aligarh once.
Yes.
Well, I remember playing chopper a year ago.
Oh gosh, yes. In fact, I
Yeah.
have a picture. I was supposed to be there at that time, and I didn't make it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That was really wonderful.
Yeah, that's good.
Anybody else wants to share a few words?
I want to say, Ira, I'm going to miss him a lot. I wanted to see him, but it didn't happen. I wish him all the best. That's all.
Thank you, Moxie. Okay. I think that's maybe we should call it a day. If nobody else has any thoughts to share.
Hi, Ranti. I would like to say a few words.
Sure, Choti.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Raja.
So I would like to share some of my memories with Uncle. The most memorable are, of course, going in the carriage with him, and then his jump rope. He used to challenge us, Tai and me, that we could never match up with his energy. And another thing is his love for desserts. I used to really enjoy seeing him. He used to relish all sweets. So these are some of the best memories I have of Uncle. Thank
Very
you.
true, Choti. I remember. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mohit, did you say something, Mohit?
No, I did say anything, but let me add a couple of things. So many folks here talked about how much he has influenced people's decisions. Early on, just like Mayank mentioned, he instilled this this notion that if something is not working, you can open it up and use a screwdriver. And he did that by taking you wherever he went and opening whatever he was opening up. He like, come take a look. So it might have been, I think, 7 or 8 when he said, you want a radio, make a radio. So we actually made one small, crystal radio that then I used to listen to for 2-3 years after that. It was quite an amazing thing for me at that age. The outcome was that I ended up getting a degree in electronics, and now his that whole ham radio story ended up me wanting to learn Morse code. It resulted in actually me creating this career I have because I couldn't learn Morse code. So I had to build a software to teach me how to learn Morse code. Today I spend my entire career building software to help people learn things. So a lot of those early stages actually came from family play, family time, and attention. which was incredible when you look back, given all that he was doing professionally and otherwise, that anytime you were in his presence, whatever he was doing, you were included. And therefore, whatever he was doing, you were influenced by, which is very unusual, for someone to be able to bridge that many generations and that many years in your work. That you're busy doing something complex and yet you have a 6, 7, 8-year-old and you're like fully including him. And I think that was a unique trait that a lot of us that left an impression, and from what I'm seeing here, has left an impression on a lot of people.
Can I add one more thing to Mohit's description of his this particular quality? He won't only get you involved in what he was doing, but he will get involved in what you were doing. And I think that was an amazing characteristic of him, because my younger son, who is a pilot now, at one point when Bhaiya visited us, he had a model plane and a model radio controlled car, and Bhaiya was all over it. He just took the car apart because it was not working. So he just got himself involved. So he'll involve you in what he was doing, but he will get involved in what you were doing, which I think is great.
Yeah. Does Badi Bua feel up to talking? Ritu?
Is Ritu there?
I don't know if Ritu is still there.
Some other day. Some other day I'll talk to all of you. I mean, but today, sorry, I can't, make myself say something.
It's okay, Bua. It's okay, Bua. Does Chacha want to say anything? Chacha, Bachi Mama? Otherwise, we'll call it a day.
Ira, can I say something? This is Manasi.
Of course, Manasi.
Yeah, I just wanted to just pick up on that point of Fufaji, of always being interested in what you're interested in and not just what he was interested in, because I'm a lot younger than most of the cousins on Bua's side, and so I didn't have a lot of opportunity to interact with him when they were living in India. I will never forget when I think I was like 11 or 12, we went to India, and he was the GM of the railroad still, and they were in, I think, Mom, correct me, I think I was 11 or 12. It doesn't really matter, but he was the GM of the railroad, and we had taken this sort of private train to Benares, and I was really hungry, and I'm at the time, I guess I would say, I was a very picky eater, and I really only ate dal chawal. I think pretty much anyone on this call knows that I only eat dal chawal. And so he had that made for me on the train while we were going. And it still to this day is like the best dal chawal I've ever had in my life. Like I can actually taste it while I'm talking about it now. But the thing that just sort of stands out to me, he also on that trip introduced me to Faulty Towers, which I can, I'm forever in his debt for, obviously, because it's a brilliant show. But when he came to Santa Barbara, I was in high school and I was starting to get really interested in politics and public policy and all the stuff that I would eventually do in my career. And he took the time to sort of interact with me about that and sort of engage with me. And I was this, snotty teenage kid who knew it all. And, we used to have these like arguments, and I would try to explain to him like the Electoral College. And he took the time to sort of, obviously he was completely right in terms of like, the flaws of the system and how it, this whole thing of how it favors smaller states and stuff. But at the time, like I was 15 and I knew everything, and I just was like, we just used to have so many conversations about what I was interested in. And like, I never, I was a sort of, you know, self-involved teenager, so I never took the time to sort of be involved and ask him about, you know, all the things that he did. I do remember, like, he was the first person, like, I didn't even know what a ham radio was when I first met him, and he tried to explain it to me, and it was just like, whoo, okay, I don't get it, but it's kind of cool. And I just so appreciated that in terms of just the engagement and the laughter and the joy. And he made time and space in his life for other people in a way that is, I mean, everybody here has said it, or at least is for sure thinking it. It's you know, he'll live in my heart forever because of that. So I'm just very, very sad today. So
thanks, Nancy. Punita, are you there, Punita? I think Punita is not there. Mayank, did you want to say anything more? Deepak, do you want to say something? Hey, Deepak, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Do
you want to say?
Sure, yeah. I remember the pure delight and joy that Bauji took in the world around him and everybody around him, and his absolute presence in the moment he was in, not thinking about the past or the future, but bringing his full attention to the people that were with him. And I too have a very fond memory of being on that train in India, and just the love and attention he lavished on us as a family it'll always stay with me.
Deepak, were you in Sholapur when everybody else was there?
No, they came alone.
Separately.
You had interview also. Probably he remembers.
Yeah, we have you on tape, I think, when you were 8 years old. You were that young.
Yes, I remember that Bhaiya asking Mathu, what does he like most? Or Deepak, something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Talking about his being on ham radio expert when we were stuck in Iran and we were unable to leave.
Yeah.
He was our only point of communication. There was a Korean family in Tehran, and we would get calls from them saying, your brother-in-law wants to talk to you. And we would go to this house, and I will never forget the smell of fish in that house. But if it hadn't been for Bhaiyaji's membership with the ham radio and his ability to communicate, we would not have had any connection with the family for months and months and months. And it was a lifeline just to be able to know that they knew where we were, what we were doing. And we went every week, and he would call without fail just to make sure that we were there. And that is another memory that keeps him in our hearts.
Sunanda Mami, I remember this. I remember hearing gunfire when you guys would talk, and that was the first time I heard gunfire. It was in the streets
That's a whole different story.
The worst of Iran. Too.
Exactly. But
yes, I remember because I never heard gunfire before.
We have seen the whole Iran burning to.
That's a whole different memory. But Bhaiyaji provided the lifeline to the family, and his ham radio. I mean, I remember even when he came here, he had so many connections. He would be busy talking to a lot of people. Just all over the US, he had connections through the ham radio network. So that was another thing. Yeah.
Well, we were one of his failures in ham radio. He sort of got us really interested. But Mohit was talking about learning the Morse code. That's where I failed. We passed our exams in electronics or whatever, but we failed at doing, or at least I failed at doing the Morse code. And Mohit, there wasn't any help for me, so I just gave up. But as Sunanda says, Bhaiya didn't give up. He had his ham radio friends in Bristol come knock at our door at 10 o'clock to say, I have your brother on the radio. I said, well, I'm not coming at 10 o'clock to come and talk to him. But yeah, he really was he really enjoyed that tremendously.
Well, there was no WhatsApp calling at the time.
Yeah. And he loved talking on the, traveling. I remember driving up and down California and all over with them and going to Las Vegas. And I'm sure everybody has their memories with the travels, but never a complaint, never anything. But every time we'd stop at a restaurant or have lunch or anything, he would give the waiters a hard time. Why are you serving large portions? I can only eat 1/4 of this. Why don't you save this and take it back for the others that need it? It was amazing. And he would have conversations with them. So the whole meal would turn into a lesson in conservation and saving and giving only what is needed to eat. And he did it in one way. The waiters always came back for more, just for the conversation.
Well, he really loved talking because once when he was staying with us and once when we were staying in Benares. So when he was staying with us, he made a video tour of my house at the gardens. And it is invaluable now because that house has been knocked down. So you can picture the house from his video. And this is the time when he got involved with Ian's car and took it apart and showed him everything. So he just loved talking. And when we were in Benares and we were in his car and the driver was driving and Bhaiya had our camera and he was continuously filming and talking. So I have the Benares, the railway, what was it called? Railway workshop where he was. And I had the film to prove all of that. So it's quite amazing what if he put his mind to it, he just did it and really did it well.
He was an example of how to live a rich, rewarding life.
Well,
in every respect and every aspect of life.
True.
All right. Okay.
हेलो इरा मैं हिंदी में बात करूँगा आई होप सबको एक्चुअली भैया जी से हमारा इंटरेक्शन तो बहुत जल्दी हुआ था मगर बाद में फर्स्ट विजिट हम लोगों की थी जो 1986 में अभिनव बहुत छोटा था उस टाइम 11 साल का हुआ और भैया जी उस टाइम बनारस में पोस्टेड थे हम वाराणसी में एज GM तो वहाँ भैया जी ने उस टाइम अभिनव का इम्प्रेशन पूछा कि अमेरिका के बारे में तुम इतने साल से वहाँ तो उसका उन्होंने इम्प्रेशन उन्होंने रिकॉर्ड किया टेप रिकॉर्डर पे एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू फाइंड ये कहाँ है मिल जाएगा मेरे पास उससे पहले बहुत पहले जब अभिनव 2-3 साल का था शोलापुर में थे उस टाइम तो भैया जी ने एक अभिनव का छोटा सा वीडियो नहीं है सॉरी टेप रिकॉर्ड पे वो बहुत उस टाइम वो 1-2 साल के थे तो उसका उन्होंने टेप रिकॉर्ड किया था वो भी मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कहाँ है मगर वो बहुत ही अच्छा है उसके बाद भैया जी से हमारा इंटरेक्शन हुआ बहुत क्लोजनेस हमारी 1999 में हम लोग उस टाइम सिकंदराबाद विजिट कर रहे थे तो एक रोज भैया जी कहने लगे अरे अरुण मैं तुमको गोल्फ सिखाऊंगा कैसे गोल्फ प्ले करता मैंने कहा मेरे को मालूम नहीं हाँ कोई बात नहीं आप सिखाइए तो he took his time to teach me how to play golf उसके बाद भैया जी और हम लोग लखनऊ में हम लोग मैं पैदा हुआ तो भैया जी का भी जो उनका पास मतलब है कि चाइल्डहुड है उनका और जब वो बड़े हुए तो लखनऊ में भी था तो उनकी बड़ी विविड मेमोरीज थी कॉलवेंट कॉलेज में उससे पहले वो थे नेशनल कॉलेज में जो उनके घर के बिल्कुल पास ही था नरई से तो बताते थे कि भाई मैं जब नेशनल कॉलेज गया तो मेरे साथ क्या हुआ, कैसे मेरा एक टीचर से हुआ, उसके बारे में मेरे को बहुत अच्छा सुनाया कि कैसे हुआ। देन आफ्टर दैट लखनऊ के बारे में मेरे से बात करते रहते थे कि अच्छा भाई तुम कहाँ थे कहाँ नहीं थे। उसका बताया कि मैं कॉलम कॉलेज में, मैं कहा अरे कॉलम कॉलेज में तो मैं भी था। तो अपनी कॉलेज लाइफ की वो मेरे से बात करते थे कि भाई कौन प्रिंसिपल था तुम्हारे टाइम में, कौन प्रिंसिपल था, और नाम बताते थे। और फिर अपना उसमें उस टाइम कॉलम कॉलेज में 4 हाउसेस होते थे, तो अपना बताया कि मैं इस हाउस में था। तो ये हुआ। उसके बाद फिर लखनऊ में ही उनको इतना लखनऊ से शौक था कि कहने लगे भाई मेरे को लखनऊ में उसका दशहरी आम बहुत पसंद है। तो मेरे से पूछते रहते कि भाई तुम्हें दशहरी आम के अलावा क्या क्या पसंद है। मैं बताया मेरे को ये पसंद है। उसके बाद फिर यहाँ क्या आपको मेमोरीज बताएं कि भैया जी जब यहाँ आए एल्डोराडो हिल्स में, तो पूछते रहते थे कि भाई ये तुम्हारे कौन कौन से पेड़ लगे हैं फ्रूट ट्रीज में। ये उसके बाद भी फिर भी जब भी उनसे बात होती थी तो पूछते थे कि अच्छा भाई तुम्हारा ये फ्रूट ट्रीज तुम क्या कर रहे हैं, और तुम्हारा किचन गार्डन जो है उसमें क्या हो रहा है। और एक चीज जो है भैया जी की, उनकी बड़ी मेमोरीज थी कि पुराने सॉन्ग्स उनको बड़े अच्छे लगते थे 1950 से। तो वो मेरे से पूछते रहते थे कि भाई अच्छा ये सॉन्ग है तुम उसको अपने आईपैड पे लगा सकते हो, एंड ही यूज्ड टू एंजॉय। ये मेरी मेमोरीज है उनके साथ। एंड हम लोग ने बाद में उनके रिलेटिव में एक उनका बहुत ही जूनियर कॉलीग है, उसका नाम प्रवीण शर्मा, जो कि मेरा क्लास फेलो था बीएससी तक। उसके बाद वो रेलवे में ज्वाइन किया। तो अभिनव की मैरिज में दैट वाज 2013 में भैया जी और रवीन शर्मा की मुलाकात हुई। रवीन शर्मा ही आल्सो रिटायर्ड एज ए जनरल मैनेजर डीजल लोकोमोटिव। तो उसका वो मेरे ख्याल से करीब 1 घंटे 2 घंटे उनकी बात होती रही, बहुत ही क्लोज थी, बात होती रही। उसके बाद रवीन शर्मा बताया कि भैया जी से उनकी कितनी देर बात हुई, एंड ही हैड अ वेरी गुड मेमोरीज अबाउट भैया जी टू। तो ये हमारी उनकी मेमोरीज हैं। उसके बाद फिर यहाँ एल्डोराडो हिल्स आए थे। फिर यहाँ उन्होंने हम लोग के साथ, यहाँ क्या कहते हैं वैली सेंटर था, छोटा सा डाउनटाउन है, उसमें गए पिक्चर्स खींची। एंड ही लाइक एक लेक है उसमें उनको बहुत पसंद है। तो ये हमारी मेमोरीज हैं उनके साथ। और क्या बताएं, हमारी जब भी उनसे अक्सर बात होती थी तो एक पूछते रहते अच्छा अरुण तुम्हारे किचन गार्डन में क्या हो रहा है, क्या क्या लगा हुआ है, क्या है क्या नहीं है। तो ये चीज़ें थी हमारी मेमोरीज उनके साथ। और यस आई एम गोइंग टू मिस हिम टू रियली। तो that's it. Thank you.
काफी देर हो गई है, स्पेशली इंडिया में लोगों को तो बहुत ही देर हो गई होगी।
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you everybody for joining the Zoom call. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and memories. Thank you, Aditi, for the presentation. Oh, no, Mama, did you want to say something? Nancy? No, Mama? They can't hear us. I don't know.
Observer, so I'm just observing. Thank you very much.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. You would like to say something?
No, it's okay.
Well, I mean, I've heard all the wonderful words about Baya's spirit, his wonderful spirit of laughter and joy and the pleasure of being with him. I mean, he was just delightful, always to be with. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't add anything more than what all of you have added so far.
No, I have only one thing to say. I'm so happy that people have fond memories of Bhaiya Sahab. He was a jewel of a person, and I'm glad that everybody can remember him in good faith and good values. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
We'll call it a day then. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for sharing your emotions. Good night. Namaste.
Bye.
And we are praying for his soul.
Okay, Prema Masi. Thank you.
And thank you for organizing this and allowing us to share.
Yeah.
Listen to everybody else.
That's true.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye, Ira.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sunanda Mami.
Better shine. Who's this?